Hello there and welcome back to the DBMS video series. In this video we are going to discuss the question set 19. So two new students have been admitted to grade 11 of this school and we have to add these two student details into the student table. So let's keep our windows side by side and let's copy the data. So STU 009. The student name is Amandi. Last name is Vijay Singh. Gender is female. We have to add the contact number. And finally we have to add the class name as 11A, which is 1. Now let's add the second user. So that student is in 11B. Let's copy the phone number. That student is also a female student. And the last name is Vimalasena. First name is Natasha. And the index number is STU 010. And then double click on the database to save it. Now the next question is the index number STU004 student's last name should be changed to Moses. So write the relevant SQL query. So now head over to the query section. Alright. And now let's type in the query. So let's check the question again. So I'm going to keep it side by side with the question. So we have to update. So I'm going to write an update query. So type in update student update student set so we'll have to change the last name. So I'm going to type in last name equals to Moses, where index number. So let's have a look at our table. So I'm going to copy this. So let me take it to the next line from where index number equals to STU 004. And we have to check all the columns if it is right. So last name is coming like this. So let me copy that as well. All right. The student table is student last name column, and let's see the column how it looks like. STU004 is Amanda Tilakratna. So we are going to change this to Moses. So now let's run the query, and the query has run and the data should have changed. Let's reload. You can see that it is changed to Moses. So let's go to the third question. Natasha Vimalasena student contact number should be changed to the number which they have given. So how can we use this? So let's see whether the name Natasha is if there's a repetition in the name Natasha. No. So we can write the query. So we can use the same update query, update student set, and we have to change the contact number. So the table for the column for contact number. So I'm going to just copy the column and paste it within the query, and then let's copy the contact number from which they have given us, and then we are going to use the where clause, where, and I'm going to take the first name is equals to Natasha. So I'm going to copy that and put it here, and I'm also going to use an end query, and last name equals to, so let's take the full name of Natasha Vimalasena. So I'm going to copy Vimalasena as well. Yeah, let's type it. So we are going to update the student contact number to the following. The first name is Natasha and last name is Vimalasena. So you can see that it is a 075 number, and it should change to a 077 number if we run the query. So let's run the query, and now you can see that it has changed. Alright, so now let's go to the fourth question. Natasha Vimalasena transferred schools before the first term examination, therefore remove the information about the student from the student table. Okay, so since Natasha Vimalasena has transferred schools, we are going to remove her from our table. So let's head back to the query, and I am going to use a drop query. So we are going to use a read query. So since we have the first and last name, I'm going to use delete, and then I'm going to specify the database table. So I'm going to delete from student. Alright, and where first name is equal to Natasha and the last name is equal to Vimalasena. So once I run this query, Natasha Vimalasena will go missing. Alright, and then next we have to find out details of all the students in the school. So to do this, we'll have to go to the query, and then we'll have to type in the query select all from student and when you enter this query, you can select all the student details who are in this school. So here you can see the index number, first name, last name, gender, contact number, and the class ID. So if we want to see the class ID as well, we are going to use an inner join query. Inner join, and then when you are inner joining, you will have to use the column. So you will have to first select the table, inner join class on, and then we are going to select the table. So student dot, and then we are selecting the class id equals to class dot class id. Alright, so now we can see the class name as well. So if the student is from 11A, we can see the student is from which class, and if he's from 11B, we can see his details as well. So you don't have to only see the numbers here, you can see the class names. So now what we are going to do is, we'll have to find out the marks of mathematics subjects of all students in the first term. Alright, so to do this, we are going to type in the query. So we are going to select the marks. So we'll type in select, and then I'm going to select the marks from the exam mark DB. So yes, sorry, no, cut. Now we are starting again. Okay, so for the sixth question, we are going to find the marks of the mathematics subjects of all students in the first term. So I'm going to use the select query, select mark from, and I'm going to select the student exam mark record table. Alright, student exam mark record. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do an inner join. So I'm going to inner join it with the subject table, subject on, and again I'm going to select the same table from here, and I want to select that column. So I'm going to select the subject ID, and I'm going to assign it to the subject table subject ID column. And then I'm going to do another inner join with the exam term table, and then I'm going to select the exam term ID, so I'm going to select the student exam mark record table here, and then I'm going to select the exam term ID, and then I'm going to assign it to the exam term table, and I'm going to select the term ID. And now I'm going to use a where clause where subject name is equals to, I'm going to select mathematics, so let's go to the subject data and select the name so that we don't make it wrong. Go to mathematics and term name equals to first term. So I'm going to exam term data and selecting the term name, and then I'm entering it into our query. I'm going to add and to the next line. Alright, so now let's run the query, and now you can see the marks of the students who did mathematics in the first term. So now let me explain the query, break down the query. So we use the select query to select the marks from the student exam mark record. So once we see the marks of the student exam mark record, we cannot see the subject name or the term. So in order to do that, in order to see the subject and the term ID, we use the inner join query to join the subject table with the exam term subject ID column. So once we join them together, we were able to map both together. So if the subject ID was maths, so maths was number 1, we can join maths with the subject ID, and hence we used we use the where clause where we use the subject in mathematics. So we inner join the subject table and the term ID table. So now let's go to the 7th question. We have to find all the marks obtained by all students in the first term in Sinhala language and literature subject. So we can use the same query. We'll have to change only the subject name. So I'm going to the subject and I'm going to copy the name. And let's paste it. So we have to find all marks obtained by all the students in the first term in the Sinhala language and literature subject. And now you can see the marks of students in the Sinhala language literature subject who participated in the first term. Now let's go to the 8th question. Amandi Vijay Singh entered another school from this school before the first term examination due to receiving a scholarship. Therefore, remove the information on the student from the student table. So to do this, let's remove all our queries from our query tab, and then we are going to type in delete. Then I'm going to use a from, and then I'm going to select the table. So the table is going to be student, and then I'm going to use the where clause where first name is equals to, and I'm going to take the name Amandi. Since there is only one Amandi, we can use only the first name. If there are names that are having the same first name Amandi, then we'll have to use and at the last name as well. So I'm going to use only the first name. Then I'm going to run this query. And now you can see that Amandi Vijay Singh will go missing since he has removed to another school. So thank you for watching this video. We'll meet in the next video.